Hey everyone, World Mental Health Day.
Right.
And yeah, it's awesome to acknowledge it and everything,
hmm
but it's not just a one-day thing, is it?
No, not at all.
It's got to be more than that. So we're doing a deep dive today into a statement by Sima Waisd. She's the WHO Regional Director for Southeast Asia, by the way.
Right.
And she's really focusing in on this year's theme, mental health at work. Which, I gotta say, it's not just your typical, hey, be aware of mental health. This
Yeah.
is some real concrete stuff in here.
Definitely.
It even's just a model for how other organizations can kind of get on board with this.
Yeah, it's great. Because we all spend so much of our lives at work.
So true.
And we've all had those jobs or known people in those situations where it's just the energy's off. It's tense. People are getting burnt out.
Totally, totally.
And this statement really gets to the heart of why that's a problem. Not just for us as individuals, but for the whole company, even the whole economy.
Yeah, and it's not even just about being oh, I got to be happy at work. It's about being able to, actually thrive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Thrive.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, like the statement points out, depression and anxiety alone, just those two things,
Just those.
cost the global economy, get this, about $1 trillion every year in lost work.
A trillion with a T?
Trillion with a T. It's mind-blowing. And it makes you wonder, what's behind those lost work days? Is it people just not showing up, or are they there but not really present, or are they, just not as productive?
I mean, it's probably all of it, right?
It's gotta be.
Like a whole mix.
It's a mix.
So the statement's okay, we got to address this, and they're actually doing something about it. They've got this initiative called Zero Care.
Zero care, yeah. And it's all about making our workplaces healthier. And they break it down into these two main parts. First, you got to make the workplace itself better physically, but also mentally. And then you have to really put effort into protecting and promoting good mental health.
So it's more than just let's put a plant in the office.
No, within a plan,
It's
yeah.
got to be ergonomic chairs and stuff.
Ergonomic chairs, yeah. Standing desks, those things that actually make a difference. And spaces, right, where people can actually connect and socialize.
Right. So
Yeah.
not just a sad little water cooler in the...
Exactly. Nobody wants to hang out by the water cooler. You need a proper break room.
Like a real break room.
Yeah, where people can actually relax and chat and just kind of decompress.
So I have the physical space.
Mm.
What about all that other stuff? The stress, the burnout, just knowing how to deal with mental health stuff in general.
Well, that's where the second part of Zero Care comes in. Remember how they emphasize training managers?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually giving them the tools to support their team's mental health.
So it's not just dump it all on us.
No, no, no. It's about giving everyone the knowledge and the resources they need. Even something as simple as mindfulness workshops.
Oh, I've heard those can be really helpful.
They can be great. Or even just having systems in place so people know where to go if they need help, like counseling services or peer support networks.
Wow, so they're really trying to cover all the bases.
They're really trying to create a model, something that other organizations can look at and say, okay, this makes sense. This is something we can do.
So they're kind of leading the way here, huh?
Totally.
Setting an example for the rest of us.
Exactly. And it's not just about warm, fuzzy feelings either, right? This is about making a real difference in people's lives and, improving productivity and creativity and the whole company culture.
It's this should be the standard, not the exception.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we go too far down that road, let's pause for a sec. Because we're going to dive into all that good stuff, the how-tos and what we can all learn from this in the next part of our deep dive. But for now, just think about this. Even if we don't work at the WHO, what can we take away from this? What can we apply in our own lives? Okay, so we've got this super ambitious plan from the WHO, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually take these big ideas and make them real in our own jogs?
Right. And that's the thing about Zero Care. It's not about some huge, impossible overhaul.
Right.
It's realizing that small changes can make a difference.
Totally. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. Gotta change everything.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's the little things
Absolutely.
that actually make you feel better.
Let's get practical. Think about where you work right now.
Okay.
Your workspace.
Yeah.
Is there anything that could be more ergonomic? Maybe your chair is killing your back,
Oh my God, the chairs.
right? Or your wrists hurt because you're typing all day.
Ugh, the worst.
It makes a difference. And it's not just about being comfy. Ergonomic stuff can actually prevent real health problems down the line.
Oh,
Yeah, long-term stuff. Or how about just places to hang out with your coworkers.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
It doesn't need to be fancy, just a break room that's actually inviting.
I've definitely worked in places where the break room was, like, depressing.
The worst. Like, nobody even wanted to go in there.
Exactly. The opposite of a break.
You want a break room where people actually want to hang out, right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's the physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the, like, mental health stuff? How do we actually deal with things like stress and feeling burned out at work?
Well, think back to Zero Care, how they talked about training for managers.
Right.
That's something you could actually suggest at your job.
Oh, yeah.
Or what about starting, like, a mindfulness group?
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Even just bringing it up can get people talking about mental health, and that's a huge first step.
It's like that saying, be the change, right?
Exactly.
But it's not just being the change, it's actually advocating for it, making it happen.
Yes. And the WHO statement is giving us permission to do that. It's like they're saying, hey, we're a global organization and we're prioritizing this, so you can too.
And it's not just the right thing to do, it's good for business. Remember that trillion-dollar stat?
Oh, absolutely.
Addressing mental health is an economic no-brainer.
It makes sense on every level. When people feel supported, they're more engaged, more productive, more likely to stay at their jobs.
It's a win-win.
Totally. And what I find really inspiring is that this is coming from the World Health Organization.
Huh?
They're saying mental health is just as important as physical health.
It's about time.
I know, right? And they're not stopping there. The statement suggests that Zero Care could be a model for other companies.
Really?
Yeah, not just within the WHO.
Wow, that's ambitious.
It is, but imagine if it works.
Right.
If they can make it happen and it actually makes a difference, it could spread everywhere.
It's like they're saying, we did it, so can you.
Exactly. And that's what makes this statement so powerful. They're not just talking the talk. They're walking the walk, and they're inviting all of us to join them.
Seriously, though, it really makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
If the WHO can make it a priority,
Yeah.
no more excuses for the rest of us for that.
Exactly. Like, it shows that it can be done.
Right. And it's not about waiting for, someone else to fix it for us. This is on all of us.
Yeah.
Whether you're the CEO or, just starting out.
Doesn't matter.
We all have part to play here.
Totally. And we can start with those little things we talked about.
Right.
Maybe suggest a yoga class at lunch, or even just ask a coworker how they're doing, if they seem stressed.
Just start that conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all makes a difference.
Little ripples, making big waves.
I love that.
Maybe your workplace will be the one that inspires everybody else.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Right. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive for World Mental Health Day, let's actually make a commitment right here, right now,
Okay.
to do at least one thing
Oh, I like it.
to make our workplaces a little bit healthier, a little bit kinder, a little bit more human.
I'm in. Are you in?
I am so in. What about you, listeners? Are you in? That's all the time we have for today. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.